Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to the Dusty BC Crypto News Show. Today, got a good little episode of a couple of pieces of crypto news that I really want to share. Primarily XRP, but don't let that guide you, alright? Don't let that guide you. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about today, so stick around, make sure you press that like button, and let's enjoy. So first of all, the digital asset investor. I've been following him for a really good while. Every single day. He keeps sharing more and more facts about the Ripple v SEC lawsuit that, where if you follow him for too long, your mind will literally explode, guys, because I have been following him for a good while, and I cannot. And so that's why, guys, I have a video lined up in the short term, a video interview with John Deaton, one of the most important lawyers in the Ripple v SEC lawsuit. And I want to get this video to 1,000 freaking likes so John will take us seriously. Then again, he already tweeted out that he is interested in getting a live stream or video of some sorts going. So I'm already excited. But I need to also know from you guys down below, what do I need to ask him about the Ripple v SEC lawsuit? What do we need to know? What do we need to... And also, guys, if you want an interview or talk with Digital Asset Investor about some of the stuff which he's found, try it, all right? Put it down below. Let's see what you guys want, and I'm going to try and get it done. Because I know that the lawsuit is so confusing, guys. I update myself every single day, and still, I get amazed every single time I see stuff, just because of how crazy it is. And some people asked, hey, can you quickly explain the Ripple v SEC lawsuit again? Yeah, guys, so what it basically is the SEC came up to Ripple after they've been operating for a couple of years already, and always were open to working on basically becoming regulatory approved. The SEC always said, no, we don't really know. They always kind of sussed it a little bit. And all of a sudden, in 2020, the end of it, after Ripple being live and running well for 7 years or so, came out and said, well, all these years you were doing something which was illegal. You've been selling a security. We're going to sue you, and you're going to pay us back for all the damages that you've caused, $1.4 billion. Ripple obviously is like, hold up, wait a minute. Something right, because they don't really understand exactly how throughout all these years the SEC never came up to them to say, hey, you're doing something wrong, let's fix this, or really set up some regulatory clarity about it all. Because Ripple's not sad, or they most likely are a little bit, that they're doing something necessarily wrong, but it's mostly about the fact they don't know they're doing something wrong because the rules aren't there. And the SEC keeps claiming, well, but you should have known. And Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, says, oh, yeah, you should know right now. It's really clear because of these old security laws from 1930. And Ripple and Coinbase and the rest of the crypto world is like, nah, it really ain't that clear. And if it was, then why is there such a big discussion about Ethereum? As Ethereum right now is, from some perspective, properly cleared. From another perspective, it isn't. But yet it's not being persuaded. And people are really wondering about that right now. And that's exactly what we're also trying to figure out on this channel here. What exactly happened there? Why is Ethereum basically treated in a different manner than XRP? Because Ethereum literally had a security sale at the start. They also know that, and everybody confirms that. But then William Hinman, one of the guys, he says, you know what? No, that doesn't really matter. If we exclude that sale, then Ethereum is fine. And also regarding William Hinman, he was a key SEC member. He talked openly about his opinion about Ethereum and it being fine. Yet at the end of the day, whatever he said during his official SEC speech, at least that's how he perceived it, it didn't matter because it was his own opinion, yet it did receive like 60 different emails back and forth within the SEC because they were, trying to get his speech right, which is also, there's so much confusion about it, guys. There's so freaking much confusion, which is why I keep sharing it over on this channel. But what just came out was whistleblower alert. The SEC allowed this man to issue Ethereum 1.0, and they're now letting him issue a second security, Ethereum 2.0, all the while the rest of the crypto industry begs for regulatory clarity. Like, why not fix this? Then why not go after him, or at least why not ask him questions? And that's, again, where the rabbit hole goes down into. John Dean just shared this. The SEC informs the judge that the SEC does not typically decide whether a particular instrument is a security per se, but at the same time, it argues that because Ripple created a secondary market for XRP, all XRP in the secondary market are securities. It's schizophrenic. And here the lawyer said, SEC, we can't answer interrogatory number 6 because we don't declare things securities in a vacuum. Judge says fair point. Also, SEC, XRP in a vacuum is a security. And you can quickly read that for yourself here if you want to, right? affirmatively state whether it considers Bitcoin and Ether to be securities in a vacuum shows a miscomprehension of how the SEC operates, as well as how the application of the Howey test in Section 5 of the Securities Act. This is because the SEC does not typically decide whether any particular financial instrument without additional context qualifies as a security per se. Howey properly applies to the offenders and sales of digital assets, and basically here they said, well, for XRP, we're not really making a determination, logically, but then they do kind of do that, which we have understood by now. As they say, the SEC has explained to Ripple that it does not typically determine whether a particular financial instrument is or is not a security, but right now they're trying to do that for XRP, so that is really strange. What is the difference, by the way, between Ripple and XRP? A lot of people ask me that too. Well, XRP is a cryptocurrency, Ripple is a company. Ripple has a lot of XRP, but that was because a couple of guys that work for Ripple right now also created XRP, and so they made it that way. You can think of it as you please, but the fact that they're so open about it, I don't know, guys. I'm pretty on board, because at the end of the day, with most of these cryptocurrencies right now, the foundation that heads above it has the majority of the coins because they are creating like things for the crypto and they're making it work. Then again, there's not really that many incentives for validators on the XP ledger also. And so from that perspective as well, you kind of got to have the upgrades from, basically funded from some point, right? And I think if we were to get rid of all the coins that Ripple would have, it wouldn't necessarily make anything better. So I'm sticking with it. Like, hey, it's fine. At the end of the day, they're creating some big stuff for XRP. And some people say, well, if they're creating some big stuff for XRP, isn't it then still a security? Well, that depends on your perspective. I would say, since they're doing some big stuff for XRP, they are, at least I'm satisfied that they have the coins because they're a good governance type of company or foundation, so to speak. I would say if they were the only thing making XRP work and the only thing keeping XRP alive, it would kind of get bad. And then again, they're just market participants at the end of the day, like you and I. They just have a lot of it. But then again, again, is that really a bad thing? It just depends on your perspective. I also got this, and I kind of want to share those two things together. Institutions likely to invest more in Bitcoin and crypto companies in 2022. Genesis Noel Axon. I don't really need to go too far into detail about this, except for the fact that more and more companies obviously are investing into crypto, but there's a very big distinction to make. I invest a lot in cryptocurrencies before they launch. You guys know that. One of the most, let me look it up here on the side. One of the most recent ones we're going to invest into, or the one that's coming up soon, is something which I highly recommend you guys to look into, by the way. Highly, highly, highly. And it's going to be over on Bybit. So if you don't have yourself an account just quite yet, make sure you check it out right now. We're going to be buying Custa. I'm such a big fan of this crypto, guys. I am such a big fan. If you're not buying this crypto, think again, please. Not financial advice, but pretty certain that this crypto is going to really blow up. It's going to go crazy. I'm going to have to keep sharing it over on my channel. I think this crypto is going to go crazy. So make sure you check it out at least. Check it out over on Bybit. Make yourself an account down below. You can get $4,100 worth of bonuses. Check it out, man. Check it out for sure. Just quickly letting you guys know. But there's a big distinction between these early projects that are cryptocurrencies and crypto companies. And that's also why I kind of had this open right here. Because for the most part, a lot of these bigger institutions are going to either buy some Bitcoin and Ethereum, like the top of the top, and eventually to XRP once Ripple wins this lawsuit. But for a very good part, they're going to be investing into cryptocurrency companies. So the foundations behind cryptos and things like Ripple rather than XRP. Now, I had a couple of little tweets that I was sharing over on my own Twitter, like, for example, Pompliano, which said, every investor, regardless of wealth, should be allowed to invest in any asset that they want. This is actually a really important point. Right now, for example, if you wanted to invest into Ripple, you probably couldn't because you need $1 million in wealth or 200,000 yearly income or 300,000. And not for everybody, that's as simple, right? I'm also thinking in my own head, like, so do I have to send him a little bank note that I have $1 million in my bank, or do I have to send him a little snapshot of my crypto that shows the dollars, or how does that work to become an accredited investor in the US, for example, to be able to buy this? But like, it's pretty strange to me. I understand why they made the rules so people can't really lose money, but that also, makes them not be able to make money, right? It's kind of strange to me how they made that system. It's really skewed against the person trying to make a big change and trying to invest. And it's really skewed towards the people that already have a lot of money. But at the end of the day, they can already make a lot of money, right? It should definitely be the opposite way. But they're trying to protect investors. Yet the SEC right now is being, basically held up because they're not investing, protecting people properly. And that's really a bigger issue right now in the US, that the governing heads are just doing everything to keep the, let's not talk about it too much, but let's say it like this, they're not really trying to help everybody out to a certain degree, and they're not really doing the protecting right. Saw some other cool stuff. Ferrari getting into crypto. Ferrari's new deal with blockchain from Velas hints at NFTs, so could be pretty cool. And Cardano's Charles Hoskinson says a great DeFi extinction will occur in the next 5 to 10 years. His numbers, definitely don't trust him in that regard. He also thought that Cardano was going to be the first $1 trillion crypto, and that the bull run that we saw in 2017-18 was going to take another 11 years or so to come again. So I'm not really trusting him on his years in that point, but he does make a valid point, which is that DeFi extinction will eventually come. It's the truth, logically speaking. Eventually, most of these DeFi protocols are going to die out, and the bigger ones are going to stay. But the bigger ones could also be the better ones, and then the better ones are going to be pretty hard to find out. But I think things like Luna will stay, Ethereum will stay, the Binance Smart Chain will stay, Polygon will stay. But all these lower tier projects, a lot of them are going to really go out as time moves on, which I guess you're going to have to be wary for. But as long as you're sticking to some of the bigger ones, guys, I think we're pretty damn safe, as there's going to be too much demand and too much to lose for those to go extinct. And it will most likely be a slowly downward sloping process as well. So I'm not too worried about a flash crash or anything of the sort. All right, guys, make sure you check out the link down below for Bybit to get yourself some custom pretty damn soon. It's going to be amazing if you ask me. Having said that, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you didn't, make sure that you put down below why not, I guess. But make sure you press that like button if you did. And we're trying to hit 140K subs by the end of the year. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible, but maybe it is. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and adios, amigos.